There was a time when a small and seemingly harmless creature sparked one of the most cruel biological tragedies in history. Meet the screwworm fly. Unlike the flies we shoo away at summer picnics, this insect lays its eggs in the living flesh of warm-blooded animals. When the eggs hatch, the larvae begin to feast on the living tissues, burrowing deeper, causing wounds that fester, bleed, and often become fatal. Humans, cattle, and wildlife alike suffered under this silent terror. Medical and veterinary teams struggled to treat these parasites with surgery, chemicals, or isolation, but the screwworms always came back. They were resilient, persistent, boiling textbooks with gruesome case studies. By the mid-20th century, livestock losses were astronomical. Rural communities in the Americas were devastated, and traditional control methods, like insecticides and removal, were expensive, temporary, and environmentally harmful. Then came a radical idea, simple in concept, profound in impact. What if instead of destroying the creature, you prevented it from reproducing? This idea gave birth to a pioneering technique, the sterile insect technique, or CIT. Here's how it works. Scientists breed screwworm flies in lab facilities. Male flies are sterilized using controlled doses of radiation, hence nuclear flies. These sterile males are released into the wild by plane, truck, or drone. They compete with wild males to mate with females, but produce no offspring. Without reproduction, the population crashes over several generations. This is biology meeting strategy, a chess game played on the smallest of boards. By the early 1980s, thanks to massive sterile fly programs, the screwworm was eradicated from the continental United States. Mexico soon followed. Mass releases continue today near borders to prevent reinfestation. But why does this matter for us beyond science? Because this method teaches us something about solving problems, about wisdom, patience, and scaling impact. We often fight challenges with brute force. We solve disagreements with anger. We treat symptoms, ignoring root causes. We try to destroy threats, forgetting that taming them can lead to deeper healing. Yet the SIT approach shows another path. It reframed the problem, not kill the fly, but stop the fly from multiplying. It taught us to work with nature, not against it. It reminded us, small, consistent actions can produce massive change. Of course, this wasn't easy. It required high-precision breeding, careful radiation calibration, safe airports, international coordination, and years of patience. The scale was massive, literally billions of flies released. But each fly, on its own, was small until they joined forces. In many ways, it's the story of human potential too. We often feel small, powerless, insignificant. But when we align with purpose, support one another, and work with wisdom, our collective power becomes unstoppable. Today, scientists and governments around the world continue to use variations of SIT, not just for screwworms, but for other disease-bearing insects like mosquitoes. New technology enhances it: CRISPR, improved release drones, smarter monitoring. The legacy built decades ago is evolving, helping us fight malaria, Zika, dengue, and more. So when you next see a fly, remember, sometimes transformation doesn't come from destruction, but from stopping the cycle at its source. Sometimes the greatest change begins with a whisper, not a shout. This is more than a story of pest control. This is a story of patience, ingenuity, and harmony with nature. A philosophical lesson disguised as a scientific triumph.